Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. Today we're talking all about concealers. I have a basket full of my concealers that I wanted to kind of share with you. I need to go through some of my things and kind of get rid of some things that I haven't been using, some things that just really have not performed as great as I had hoped. So I wanted to share with you my concealer stash and tell you what I love, which concealers I recommend, and I can do this with foundations, because I have a lot of them. Eyeshadows, things like that. Blushes, I have my blush basket is overflowing, and so is my highlighter basket. I have all these little baskets that I've accumulated from multiple different places. These little baskets here hold all of my products. So I have one for foundation, I have one for concealers and bronzers, and the idea that I had in the back of my mind was that if I have a small basket, I can kind of contain everything and keep a small collection. Well, it's not working because my other baskets are completely overflowing and everything is just kind of spilling into other compartments in my drawers. So it's definitely time for me to go through things and get rid of the things that I'm not using. So today is concealer. I've got a full basket, so I'm going to kind of zip through this really quickly so that I can kind of talk about everything and just kind of give you tidbits of the products and hopefully help you out if you're interested in any of these or if you are curious about them. So we're going to start with correctors. I use correctors almost every single day. I didn't today, and I'll share with you the concealer that I chose in place of my corrector, but I normally go for a peachy corrector to sort of cancel out any dark circles, any veining, any discoloration, because I do have dark circles normally. And I feel like now that because I'm pregnant and I'm tossing and turning and I'm not really sleeping that well, I am very much into my third trimester, like my due date is just a few weeks away, and I feel like I can't get comfortable. And I just am so tired, and you can see it in the under eye area, or your eyes in general. This area here shows that. So correctors is key. I'm going to start with my favorite one, the Charlotte Tilbury corrector. This is in the shade called Fair 1, and I absolutely love it. I did a video on this comparing it to one of my other ones, and I absolutely love this. This is one of my most reached for color correctors. I was going to say concealer, but correctors. It's that perfect peach shade. It comes in a couple different colors, and I chose the lightest shade, and I feel like this works under concealer, and it also works as just a concealer slash corrector with nothing else over the top. And I can do this on my bare skin with no foundation, just tinted moisturizer, a little powder, and the color works. So I absolutely love this. I've talked about this before. I've used this product in many tutorials. It's one that I recommend, and I love that little compact. It's little, but it's good. And the other one that I have that I did a video on comparing Charlotte Tilbury is the Bobbi Brown one. Now, the Bobbi Brown one is the extra light bisque, which is much lighter, and I will show you both of them compared to one another. This is Charlotte, and then this is Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown is a little bit lighter. I feel like I could have gone with the next shade up, which I think is just the regular bisque, but I chose extra light bisque, or maybe it's light bisque that comes after this, thinking, you know, let's just play it safe. This is a little bit more brightening because the tone is a lot lighter than this one from Charlotte. However, both of them are really great for correcting, and they do honestly do their job. The Bobbi Brown one, I feel like it's just a touch more emollient, but in a good way. It's not going to be creasy or like it slips and slides, or your concealer just doesn't want to blend well or kind of moves too much around. I feel like a little bit of this will go a long way. And that's the thing with correctors. You only need a little bit. You don't want to use as much corrector as you would concealer. This is just pinpointing it in the darkest parts. Like for me, it's right in here and in the outer corner where I have a little bit of redness, and I take the very smallest amount and then just pat it in with my finger, and then go in with my beauty sponge and my concealer over the top. So I do have two other correctors. The other one is the Tarte CC one. This is also good. I have it in the shade light medium. I do feel like the tone is good. I'm able to get away with this, but if you are much, much lighter than me, the light medium is going to be a little too dark. And that's the thing. That's kind of that was my little hesitation there. The tones and the options are a little lacking in my opinion. So this is supposed to cover light skin tones and medium skin tones. I do think that the color is a softer peach. It's almost kind of a tone in between Bobbi Brown and my Charlotte. So Bobbi Brown is my lightest, then this one, then my Charlotte. And it works. I mean, it does its function. It is hydrating, as you can probably see when the camera hits it. I'm looking in the viewfinder. You see that kind of glossy look to it because it is a hydrating formula. And I do like it. I do think it's worth the money. And I do really enjoy those three so far. The other corrector that I have is from the drugstore, and it's the Flower Beauty Chill Out corrector. This one recently came out, I want to say in November, maybe. She came out with some new products, new releases, and I bought all the new stuff. And this is in the shade called Light Peach. This one actually has some CBD mixed into the formula. So you've seen, I'm sure, CBD in skincare, makeup. This one I have not used that much. I've used my little tool to kind of dig out a little bit because it's in a thick kind of formula. And honestly, when I used this, I started noticing that I had like little spots under my eyes. Not really necessarily like a pimple with a whitehead, but just like little red dots. And I don't know if it was this or if it was the primer, maybe the serum foundation, but I do think it could have been this. And I haven't had the best of luck with the CBD lip products either. I feel like they've caused me a lot of dryness and made my lips feel really weird. So that's why I have not reached for this. And honestly, I really don't think that I would anyways. I feel like the other three are probably my best options for color correcting. This one was good, but it just didn't wow me, and I just feel like it's probably not one I'm going to reach for, so I'm going to save it because my mom is moving in with me right before my daughter's born, so I'm going to have her try it and see if the Light Peach works for her. She might actually enjoy it, but for me, it's a no. So that one I know for sure I'm going to have to just kind of pass along to her. So I've got only 3 correctors instead of 4. I'm not doing too good here, narrowing it down, but those are my correctors. Then concealers, and I'm just going to start picking in no particular order. The Magic Away concealer from Charlotte. Love this. Used it many videos, talked about the formula. It just makes the under eye area look absolutely beautiful. And I wear the shade 3 Fair, so I absolutely love this. And this is staying in my collection. This is definitely one of my favorites. I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have not used this enough to say it's got to go or it can stay. So I think I'm going to try it again. This is in the shade called Fair Beige, and it actually blended out quite well. Looked really nice under the eye the last time that I used it from memory. Thinking about the last time I used all my e.l.f. products and used this with other products or concealers and mixing in with some products and trying different things out. I do enjoy this. I do feel like it does have really good coverage, and it's so inexpensive, and it actually is a pretty decent formula. So I'm going to kind of report back to you guys on this one. I'm going to use it a little bit more and see how it turns out, if it ends up being one that I would like to keep. The next one is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion. This is a full coverage concealer. I wear shade L1-2 Fair. This is actually a really good concealer, and I do feel like it does provide a lot of coverage, and I do like this one. It comes with a doe foot applicator, as most concealers in a tube like this, and I do use quite a bit of this, and I love the way it looks under the eye, so this one is a keep for me. I'm going to share these two together because they're the same ones, just 2 different tones. The Fit Me Concealers by Maybelline. This was one that you guys recommended to me a couple months ago. I was taking recommendations, which I still am, of products, and then doing videos on them and sharing what my thoughts are on your favorites. So that was kind of fun, and check out those videos if you haven't seen them. But the Maybelline one is one that I used, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I have just completely forgotten about it. So I picked up the shade Fair 10, which is what I use for concealer, and then I have the shade called Caramel number 40. This one I bought it for bronzing, like a liquid bronzer, and kind of do that sort of thing that I've seen on Instagram. And the formula is great. It's very light. It has good coverage, and I do feel like it does kind of, it's up there with some of my higher end formulas and concealers. I do like how thin it is, but it provides good coverage. And for me, when I use this over my corrector, my under eye area looks flawless. So this one is a definite keep for me, and I'm going to keep the dark one because, again, it's more for like bronzing. Not really concealing, but it is a concealer, so I'm gonna keep it in. Okay, so the one that I'm wearing today is the Lorac Pro Soft Focus Longwear Concealer. I have it in the shade 1.5 Fair. This one is way too yellow. I think you can see that from this little window here, which I do appreciate the fact that it's packaged this way, because you can see when you start to scrape the inside of it and see when you need to replace the product. It's a good formula, blends well, has some pretty good coverage, and I do like the way it wears. I do think that it creases just a little bit on me, which is not my favorite thing. Nobody likes creasing concealer, but the shade is a little off, so I have to use this with some of my other foundations that may be a little bit darker. I will continue to use it because I paid for it. It's not a bad, like, oh my god, the formula is so bad that it's got to go. Plus, I don't think that this color is going to work for my mom anyways, and since I've used it, I'm not going to give it to anybody else, so I'm going to keep using it. It's what, like I said, what I'm wearing today. It looks really good when it's blended with my concealer, or excuse me, when it's blended with my foundation, it looks fine. I don't use corrector underneath this one because the tone already on this is a little too dark, so that's why I skipped corrector today, but I will continue to use this one. The Revlon Photo Ready Candid Concealer in the shade 005. This is in the shade called Fair. I love this concealer. This is, to me, one of those like hidden gems from the drugstore. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this concealer or the foundation, which I'm almost out of entirely. I actually like this concealer so much. Has really great coverage, has a huge doe foot applicator, but one swipe on each eye is enough. Has really great coverage, it's brightening, it looks smooth, it makes my under eye area look great. I can use this on its own with no corrector or with corrector, and it looks beautiful. Two from Milani. The first one is the Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. This is an itty bitty one. This one is very light, and I would use this on days where I don't want to wear a lot of makeup or days that I'm not looking to use something that's much more full coverage. This is very thin. I would say it kind of reminds me of like a serum type of concealer. Even though it's not advertised as a serum, it has that thinness, but there is some coverage to it. I do like to use the applicator to sort of dot it around. It's not an applicator that I prefer for blending, so I would recommend, if you try this, just kind of dot it and then use a sponge, brush your finger, whatever you normally use to blend out your concealers. I just don't think sponge tips like this really do blend, because you have quite a bit of product actually does come out, because the hole in the center is quite large, so it does come out a lot. I have in the shade 01 Fair. I don't know if I mentioned that already. You could also use a little bit of this over your concealer or to clean up under the eyes, because the formula is pretty thin. You can use like a big fluffy crease brush and kind of clean up underneath the eyes. Take a little bit on the very tip of the beauty sponge and clean up if you do concealer first before you do your eyeshadows. This is the type of concealer that I personally would use for that, because it is a very thin formula. It's not going to cake up what already is existing under the eyes if you do your complexion first like I do. So I do think that I'm going to keep this one for that and to keep using it. The next one, however, from Milani, the Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer, I have in the shade 110 Nude Ivory, is full coverage. It's a completely different, it's night and day. This is thin, this is light, more everyday. You can use this just a touch, just to kind of make your eye look more perked up for the day, and then no other makeup. This is definitely very obvious that it's completely erasing everything. It is probably my most full coverage besides the Flower Beauty one in my collection, so I'm going to keep it for that purpose. And I do like it. It works great. It's never made my under eye area look weird. It's never given me any weird texture afterwards, like the CBD corrector from Flower Beauty. It just doesn't work with my skin. But this one is fine, and I actually do like it. I'm wearing the actual foundation that goes with this today, and it's really great. I should have used this today instead of Lorac, but maybe my next tutorial I'll use this one. And I do like it. I think it's really great. It's full coverage, and it's affordable from the drugstore, so a really good one to try. The next one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle Treatment Concealer. I think that I should be on a mission to finish this up, because there is not much left in here. I've had this for a couple of months, and this is just one of my favorites. I actually love this stuff. I've used this before, many videos. I've talked about it as my everyday kind of go-to, and I've kind of fallen down the rabbit hole of trying all these different concealers and complexion products, and I have not used this one in probably about a month or so. But I do love the formula, and I have the fair shade. Again, it's one of those with the doe foot applicator, like a sponge kind of thing. It's messy. I use this to kind of dot where I want the concealer, and then I blend it in with my beauty sponge because this I don't think is great for blending. But if you're looking for a concealer that has some sort of skincare benefit to it, which I like, I would definitely recommend this one. And I'm going to try to finish this one up. That's my goal. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to share is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. I have the shade 05 Fair. This one is very light. It looks almost white. It's not my favorite. I do not enjoy this one, so this one is going to go. It's just, I don't know, I just don't like the way it looks under my eye area. I also don't really care for the foundation either. Unfortunately, the foundation just makes my skin look completely dry, scaly, and just really weird. But I'm looking at my skin right now and I don't see that. But if I were to take this off and put the foundation that goes with this on, my skin would look pretty terrible. And it's just, I don't know, I think the formula is just too drying for my preference. This is a little drying as well, a little too matte, and it's a no for me. And the color is just, it's a little too light as well. So I just feel like I'm gonna pass on that. The e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, I have not used this quite enough to say it's amazing or it's something that I'm going to get rid of because it's not that great. I have it in the shade 15W Fair, and it's one of their newer release products that have come out within the last month or so, and it's like a pen, so you kind of draw it on, do little scribble marks like I do. You click it from the bottom, so it's like this little pen. You've seen these before. I'm sure you've probably even used these before. Initially, when you start clicking it for the first time, a lot comes out and it just kind of, it goes everywhere. And then if you live in Colorado like I do in the mountains, the pressure from the altitude just makes everything just bust right out when you start squeezing it. But this one, I do feel like it acts as a more of a brightening versus being a full coverage concealer, if that makes sense. I would prefer some other concealers over this. I would use this to sort of brighten or kind of pinpoint like the very inner corners, or maybe like a dot on the outer corner, maybe a little bit around the nose if I wanted some brightening aspect. But I feel like for the whole under eye area, I don't feel like there is enough coverage for me personally. So this one, it's kind of, I'm on the fence. I think I might try it and see how it looks with other concealers, and just like I said, just kind of like a dot for brightening. Or if I have like the Lorac one, which I probably should have done that today. The Lorac one, since it's a little dark, use this since it's light to kind of mix. I like the convenience of it though. You click it and you swipe it on. It's not really, again, not a good blending applicator whatsoever. But I do think that it can be brightening, and they do have tons of different colors. So I will say that when they initially launched this product, they came out with lots of colors, not just few that only fit for fair to light skin tones. There's quite a few options. So I do like that, and I think I might revisit that maybe my next video, the next time I do my makeup, and see if I like it. If not, it's gonna go. This one is actually like a color corrector. It's the NYX HD. It's the green one. This is gonna go. I bought this when I did my family portraits for the holidays, not last Christmas, but the year before, so it's definitely old. And it was just a cakey hot mess. Like no. I had lots of breakouts. My daughter was only 6 months, I think, or 9 months. No, she was 9. Well, whatever. Anyways, very shortly after having her, in 2019, I just had a lot of breakouts and really dark marks, and I didn't want that to be seen in my photos and our family portraits, so I bought a corrector, and this is just not, it's a no. No for me. The next one is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and this one I think I'm going to have to get rid of. It's in the shade called Fair 8. I've never even used this. I forgot about it, but look what's happened to it. It's completely separated, and yeah, I probably shouldn't. And I've had this for maybe a year. Same thing. Hold on. Hold please. With this. This original packaging, I mentioned this in a previous video. I still have it. Never used it, forgot about it, bought it, not my last birthday, but the previous birthday. I think my daughter was just itty bitty baby, and I have yet to use it. I bought the shade Light Peach. I don't even know if that's the right shade, but this is well over a year old, so I'm kind of scared to use it. It's brand new. If my mom was here, she's like, I'll take it, I'll use it. She'll use anything. I'm kind of scared, so I will tell her, and if she wants to, it's at her own risk. But both of these are brand new and they've been sitting in my drawer. And this one from ColourPop is just separating, and you can see like the clear liquid separate. No, that's a no. And then my Tarte Shape Tape, I bought the mini size. This is in the shade 16N Fair Light Neutral. I have been using this for like spot concealing if I have a breakout, because it does have some good coverage. I don't know, it doesn't wow me. I bought it because I wanted to try it. It's America's #1 concealer according to the brand. Everybody loves it, and I thought, what's so great about it, right? So let me just try the mini instead of buying a full size. I watched their little quick tutorials on Instagram, and it looks so beautiful on the ladies that do the makeup and work for the brand, but I'm just like, I don't know, I just don't feel like it wows me in the way that everybody talks about it, and it's got phenomenal reviews. So I thought, I'll try it, but again, it's not really wowing me, so I think I wouldn't repurchase it, and I wouldn't say, hey, go out and buy it, because I don't personally like it that much. I do use it for like breakouts, so I think I'll keep it since it's small for that purpose. I don't have any breakouts right now, thank goodness. So I think I'll keep it for that purpose. But it's not one that wowed me. Like, I just felt like I have to buy this in full size, and I have to use it every single tutorial, because I can't remember the last time I actually used this under my eyes in a video or in my personal time. So I don't know, if you like it, great. If it works for you, that's awesome. But for me, it's just not, I don't see it. It's not wowing me as I thought I would be. I don't know. But that is it. That's the last in my little basket. Now I get to put all these back. And honestly, I don't think I'm doing very good here. Narrowing down my selection. I think I've only gotten rid of a few things. I feel like I still have so much concealer. But again, something about it still being able to fit all nicely in this basket, I'm okay with. The whole point was to downsize, and I just feel like I really haven't done that. But I feel like I got rid of, what did I get rid of? Five different concealers. So that's a start. So that is my concealer stash, and those are all of the concealers that I have, the recommendations, my thoughts and opinions as I've used them. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this. I can do this with, like I said in the beginning, with other different categories of products that I have, and kind of do these more frequently if you're interested in them. So let me know what you think in the comment section about this video, and doing these types of reviews of different products. But yeah, I feel like if I just go into this basket with my eyes closed and pull something out of it, I'm going to be happy with the way it looks. So that's a good thing. At least I can say that, right? So that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I shared with you today, and for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching, for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. That helps me out and helps me know what you guys are interested in seeing, so I can produce content that you guys like to watch. You can follow me on Instagram. I have one social media account that I'm most active on, and I'll put it on the screen. Hopefully we can connect there and become friends. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I hope that you will enjoy my videos and take the time to subscribe, and if you do, thank you so much for that. Your support means everything. And those OG subscribers, those of you who've watched all of my videos, you know who you are. I see you. Thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you soon.